Hey guys, Melissa here with LoveableLoops.com. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a striped crochet beanie with ear flaps, a bow, and braids. You're going to need worsted weight yarn in whichever colors you choose to use. I'm using red and white. And for the hat, you're going to need an I 5.5mm crochet hook. And for the bow portion later, you're going to need an H 5mm crochet hook. I'm going to show you guys how to make the hat in a toddler size, but I will link below when I have the pattern uploaded for all sizes on my blog. Okay, to begin, I'm going to start with my white, and I'll be alternating colors every 2 rows, and we are working from the top down. Go ahead and make a magic ring. Okay, chain 2, and you're going to make 11 double crochet. Okay, make sure you have 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Join in the round, so you're going to join with a slip stitch to that first double crochet. You pull your yarn all the way through. You can tighten up that middle circle. So round 1, there are 11 stitches. For round 2, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to make 2 double crochet in each stitch. Your first double crochet will always go in that same stitch that you joined to and where you make your chain 2. So your chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So I have 2 double crochet in that first stitch, and now in each remaining stitch I will make 2 double crochet all the way around. Okay, make sure that you have 2 stitches in each stitch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. You're going to join with a slip stitch to that first double crochet of the round, and you have completed your first 2 rounds. So now for my next 2 rounds I'm going to be using red. Okay, so I just joined with a slip stitch, so just put this down, grab your red yarn, and now I'm going to, you can see here I have my yarn tail. I'm going to join my red, just pull that red through. It'll be a little loose at first, but you can tighten everything up. So using my red yarn, I'm going to chain 2. Okay, and you can tighten those yarn tails in the back. In my first stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochet. Go ahead and go tighten everything up. Okay, so the pattern for round 3 is 2 double crochet and then 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochet and then 1 double crochet, and you repeat that all the way around. I'll give you a closer look here. Okay, so we have 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, repeat that pattern all the way around. 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet. Oops, I accidentally did 2 in a row there, so 2, 1. So 2 double crochet, and in your last stitch it will be 1 double crochet. All right, go ahead and join to that first double crochet. Okay, and you can tighten up all those yarn tails. All right, okay, so at the end of round 3, you will have 33 double crochet. You can go ahead and count to make sure that's correct. Since I'm making sure as I go that I'm keeping my pattern, I don't usually count at the end of these rows because I'm really checking throughout the entire round. So now for round 4, you're going to chain 2. You're going to make 2 double crochet in that first stitch, and then in the next 2 stitches you're going to make 1 double crochet. So your pattern now is 2, 1, 1. So 2 in that first, so now I'm making 1 and 1. And again in my next stitch here, it will be 2, 1, 1. 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay, you should have 3 stitches there at the end to do this one more time. So 2, and then 1, and 1. All right, go ahead and join. Okay, at the end of round 4, you will have 44 stitches. So now for round 5, we're going to switch back to white. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get that white yarn that I had left off with here. I'm going to pull it up. Now you don't want to pull too tight because you don't want to get this scrunched up. But what you want to do is pull it up. Just like that. So you want that to be nice and flat against the hat, okay? That part's nice and straight. So I'm going to chain 2, and now I might need to tighten my red, but I would not pull on the white anymore, okay? So for round 5, you're going to make 2 double crochet in that same stitch that you joined to. And in the next 10 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. And the pattern now is going to be 2 double crochet in a stitch and then 1 double crochet in the next 10 stitches. So we'll be increasing this round by 4 stitches. So that means that there are going to be 4 stitches. So here, somewhere around here, here, and here, where we make 2 double crochet, okay? And in the middle, between those sets of increases, we'll be making 10 double crochet, or double crocheting in 10 stitches. Okay, so you just repeat that pattern all the way around. 2 and then double crochet in 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on here, so that's 2, 4. So I just did 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I have my 10 stitches there. So in this next stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochet. And once again, in the next 10 stitches, I'm going to make 1 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, in your next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochet. 1, 2. Okay, and now again, 10 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. In that next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochet. And in those last 10 stitches, you're going to double crochet once. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Since we're counting as we go for these rounds, I don't count at the end since I'm checking as I go. I don't think there's any need to. Okay, go ahead and join. Okay. All right, at the end of round 5, you'll have 48 stitches. Now for round 6, you're going to chain 2. You're going to make 2 double crochet in that first stitch. And in the next 11 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now in your next stitch, you're going to make another increase. You're going to make 2 double crochet. 1, 2, and again, double crochet in 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, my next stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochet. And in the next 11 stitches, double crochet once. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In that next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochet. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, so go ahead and double crochet. So as I'm making this, I'm thinking it looks like a candy cane. So I think I'm going to show you how to make this with a bow, like I said originally. But then I'm also going to show you how to make it with a pom-pom on top, because I think that would look really cute too. And maybe pom-poms at the end of the braids too, for something different. So there'll be 2 ways to finish off your beanie. Oops. Oh my gosh. That was slippery. Well, at least it's not squeaky today. It's worse. Seems like when it's dry, it's not squeaky, but the yarn is more slippery. It moves really fast. All right, go ahead and join. At the end of round 6, you will have 52 stitches. So now we're going to go back to using our red. So flip your hat over. Okay. You're going to want to pull up that working red yarn. So I'm going to get this yarn tail out of the way there. Remember, you want that to be flat. You don't want it to pucker up the hat by pulling it too tight. So pull your red yarn up. Make sure that's nice and flat. Okay. Go ahead and chain 2. And then you can tighten the white yarn, but I would not pull on that red yarn anymore. And then you're going to make 2 double crochet in that first stitch that you joined to. 1, 2. Okay, and now in the next 12 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, in your next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochet. Okay, and then once again, double crochet in 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and then in that next stitch, once again, you're going to make 2 double crochet. And then double crochet in 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, in your next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochet. Okay, and in those last 12 stitches, you're going to double crochet once. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. go ahead and join. Okay, and at the end of round 7, you'll have 56 stitches. So now we're going to begin round 8. This is the last round where we're going to be doing our increased stitches. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and chain 2. You make 2 double crochet in that first stitch. 1, 2, and then you're going to make 1 double crochet in the next 13 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to double check that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Perfect. In that next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochet. And then, oops, did something wrong there. Okay, this is where I'm making my 2 double crochet. Okay, and then in the next 13, you're going to make 1 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Even though I'm counting, I daydream a lot when I'm crocheting, so I'm going to double check that. I would rather catch a mistake now than have to undo all of this. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay, make 2 double crochet in that next stitch. And then in the next 13, 1 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. In that next stitch, you're going to increase. So 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and then in the last 13 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Perfect. Okay, go ahead and join. At the end of round 8, you'll have 60 stitches. Okay, so now for rounds 9 through 18, you're just going to chain 2 at the beginning of each round, double crochet once in each stitch, and then join at the end of that round. If you're changing colors every 2 rounds like I am, you'll continue doing that. So like right now, for rounds 9 and 10, I'm going to switch to white, and then rounds 11 and 12 back to red, and then I'll just continue doing that until I get to round 18. Since we're just double crocheting once in each stitch, I'm not going to do all of that on camera because I think that would be a waste of your time, and that way I can make this tutorial shorter for you. So at the end of each round, you'll still have 60 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and complete up to round 8 or through round 18, and I will meet back up with you after that to show you how to make your ear flaps. Do not cut your yarn at the end of round 18. We're going to continue on with the last color that is used for round 18. Okay, now that we have completed round 18, we are going to begin the ear flaps. You can go ahead and cut your red yarn. I didn't weave in my ends yet, but you could do that now if you wanted to. But now we're going to begin the first ear flap. So right there where you joined, you're going to chain 1. You're going to single crochet in that same stitch, and then you're going to single crochet once in the next 13 stitches. That will give you a total of 14 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can't remember if I started with that first one I made. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Okay, one more. 14. Now we are going to turn and we're going to work the other direction. So now I'm working the opposite way. Just as a tip, when you are working outward, so you have the inside of the hat facing you, that's when you're making your decreases on the end. When you have the outside of the hat facing you, you're just single crocheting across, okay? With the exception, I believe, of the last row. Okay, so now you're going to chain 1 and you're going to single crochet those first 2 stitches together. Okay, and then you're going to single crochet in, I believe, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you're going to single crochet in 10. So you're going to leave the last 2 stitches and you'll be single crocheting those together. Okay, I have 2 stitches left. I'm going to single crochet those 2 stitches together. Okay, now I'm going to turn. I have the outside of my hat facing me, so I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to single crochet once in each stitch. Okay, so at the end of that row, go ahead and turn, chain 1. The inside of my hat is facing me, so I'm making my decreases. So I'm going to single crochet 2 together. 1, 2. I'm going to single crochet, I forget the number, I think it should be 8, but you're going to single crochet until you get to the last 2 stitches. and then go ahead and make another decrease. You're going to single crochet those 2 stitches together. Okay, go ahead and turn, chain 1. The outside of the hat is facing you, so just single crochet once in each stitch. Go ahead and turn, chain 1. The inside of the hat is facing you, so we're decreasing. Single crochet 2 together, single crochet across until you have 2 stitches left. Okay, there's 2 stitches left. Single crochet those 2 stitches together. Turn. The outside of the hat is facing you, so you go ahead and chain 1 and just single crochet once in each stitch across. Okay, turn, we're decreasing again, chain 1, single crochet 2 together, single crochet across until there are 2 stitches remaining. Okay, 2 stitches left, single crochet those 2 stitches together. Turn, chain 1, single crochet once in each stitch. Okay, go ahead and turn, chain 1, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in 2 stitches, single crochet those last 2 stitches together, okay, turn, chain 1, single crochet across once in each stitch, 2, 3, 4, turn. You have 4 stitches left, so you're going to go ahead and make 2 decreases. So chain 1, single crochet 2 stitches together, and then do the same thing again, single crochet 2 stitches together. Okay, turn. Now typically when the outside of the hat is facing you, you just single crochet across. However, we only have 2 stitches left, so you're going to chain 1 and you're going to single crochet those 2 stitches together. Okay, now that is our first ear flap. And so you can actually cut the yarn, pull that through. We are done with the first ear flap. Now we need to determine the placement of the second ear flap. The first thing, you want to make sure when we're counting out our stitches for the front, you want your join seam to be towards the back of the hat. So if the front of the hat is facing you, this is our ear flap. I don't want to make it confusing, so I'm not going to turn it the right way. I'm going to leave it like this. So if this is the front of the hat here and this is the back of the hat, you have your join seam in the back. What we want to do is we want to count out for the toddler size 18 stitches that we are going to leave unworked in the front. This will leave fewer stitches in the back because you want the front opening to be slightly larger than the back. When you're counting your stitches, that stitch right there, that stitch has already been worked into. It's kind of hard to tell, but if you pull the ear flap up, you can see it pulls that stitch up. So that stitch won't count. We're going to count over 18 stitches, and on the 19th stitch, we are going to reattach our yarn. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. That's the 19th stitch. Go ahead and put your crochet hook in there and attach your yarn. Now we're going to make the second ear flap doing the same thing we just did, and I will walk you through it again. Join your yarn, chain 1, single crochet once in that same stitch, and then single crochet in the next 13. So we'll end up again with 14. So I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Go ahead and turn, chain 1, single crochet 2 stitches together, single crochet across until you have 2 stitches remaining, okay? Those last 2 stitches, you're going to single crochet those 2 together, turn your work, chain 1, single crochet once in each stitch across, okay, turn your work, chain 1, single crochet 2 together, and single crochet across until you have 2 remaining. Okay, there's 2 stitches left. Single crochet those 2 stitches together. Turn, chain 1, single crochet across, okay, turn, chain 1, single crochet those first 2 stitches together, single crochet across until you have 2 stitches remaining, okay, you have 2 stitches left, single crochet those 2 stitches together, turn, chain 1, single crochet all the way across, turn your work, chain 1, single crochet 2 stitches together, single crochet across until you have 2 stitches left, single crochet those last 2 stitches together, turn your work, sorry, go ahead, chain 1, single crochet once in each stitch across, okay, turn your work, chain 1, single crochet 2 stitches together, single crochet 2 stitches, and then those last 2 stitches you'll single crochet together, okay, turn your work, chain 1, single crochet in each of those 4 stitches, okay, turn your work, chain 1, and then you're going to single crochet together twice. You're going to single crochet those first 2 stitches together and then the next 2. Okay, turn your work, you have 2 stitches left, chain 1, and single crochet those 2 stitches together. Okay, so this here, as you can see, is the front of your hat, and then the back of your hat here has a little bit less space between, but this is because of the way your ears are positioned on your hat, so you need a little more space in the front. And I think I'm actually going to continue with the white. I was thinking about single crocheting around with red, but I think the white looks really pretty. So what we want to do now is we're going to single crochet all the way around, and we want to do that because if you look at this ear flap, it looks a bit unfinished because of the edge. So we're going to single crochet all the way around the entire hat. So from where you just left off, chain 1, because you're going to be turning, and you're going to single crochet down the side of that hat. You have to sort of pick your spaces because there aren't actual stitches you're working into the sides of stitches or the space between them, those turning spaces. Just make sure you're not doing it too tightly. You can see that gives it a much nicer finished look. Alright, so I'm at the beginning now, so I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here, join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet that I made. Okay, and you can go ahead and trim your yarn if you want to right now. You can go ahead and weave in your ends. So the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the braids for your ear flaps, and then I'm going to show you how to make a bow for the front. So you could do this two ways. You could do the braids with the bow, and that would look super cute. And then I'm also going to show you how to make your hat with a pom-pom instead of the bow. So let's go ahead, and here's what we're going to need. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and you're going to need your red and white yarn. You can use a tape measure for this part if you want to. I usually use the length of my arm. But for a nice round number, go ahead and cut strips of your yarn that are about 30 inches long. And what you're going to want for each braid, you're going to want to do that 6 times. So for the first braid, I'm going to end up with 12 strips of yarn. And I don't know if you can see that here, so I'm going to be cutting this. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then you might want to either write down these directions or take note of the time on the video. I'm just going to be doing 1 braid for the purposes of the tutorial. So 2. That's 3. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so you're going to want to gather all of those ends in one hand, make them as straight as possible. Do that off camera real quick here, comb through it, make it nice and straight. Okay, and then you're going to want to fold it in half, okay? Okay, so you're going to fold it in half, and you have that half folded around your finger. You're going to need a crochet hook. You can use the same one that you were just using. Normally I weave in these ends first, but I don't want to take time off camera time to do that. So you want to stick your crochet hook from the inside out, okay? Because you're going to be pulling the yarn from the outside to the inside, and the reason we do it this way is because we want that knot to be on the outside because it looks more finished. Okay, so you're going to use that crochet hook to grab those loops of yarn and pull them through. And you're going to want all of them together, but you might have to do a few trips. Okay, just like that. And that needs to be weaved in, so that's not part of this. Okay, and then pull it. I like to pull it back and forth a few times. This is a little harder to do on camera because I usually use like my knee to hold it still. But okay, so you want to get that as straight as possible, and now what you're going to do is you're going to pass those yarn ends here that I have in my left hand through the loops in my right hand, okay? And then you're going to pull that nice and tight. And that actually turned out pretty nice. Sometimes I have some loops that are really loose and I have to go hunting for the correct yarn end to pull it tight, but that worked out really well. Looks nice and clean. Okay, so now get rid of those yarn tails here. We're going to braid it. Okay, so I had 6 of each color, so I ended up with a total of 12. Okay, but again, I folded it in half, which means I now have, I should have, if I did that correctly, 24 pieces of yarn hanging down. Now when you do a braid, you need that in 3 sections, so my 24 divided by 3 is 8. So I'm going to use this to hold that still so I can braid it, and I'm going to divide my yarn into sections of 8. So 2, 4, 6, 8. And trade that one out, one piece of yarn's further over that way. Okay, and then let's see here. 2, 4, 6, 8, and then this last section should also be 8. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. Must have miscounted. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I must be counting that yarn tail. So that yarn end that I should have woven in, but I was too lazy to do it before adding the braid, that's in here somewhere now, and that's okay. So one of the sections has 9 pieces because of that. That's not a big deal. So you're going to go ahead and braid. And this is much easier to do. I'm not trying to capture it on film. You're going to have to tie a knot at the bottom, so you don't want to braid all the way to the end. If you'd like me to do a tutorial specifically on how to braid, go ahead and leave a comment. Okay, I think that's about far enough, and now you're just going to take that and just tie it in a knot, and then you just pull that nice and snug. Okay, so we have one of our braids done, and then you would trim that yarn. I'm not going to trim it now because I have a feeling I might go back and just redo this because I did it quickly to show you how to do it, but I might clean that up a bit. So go ahead and repeat that same process for the other braid, and you would of course trim those so that they're all the same length. So now for the bow, you are going to want to use, I guess, whatever color it is you want to have your bow be. I'm going to make mine red. I think it'll look really cute. I had also made this hat before in a white, an off-white, and a nautical blue color, and then I added a red bow, and that also looked really cute. But I want this to look more holiday-ish, so you're going to take your H 5mm crochet hook and whatever yarn you want to use for the bow. I'm using red. Make a slip knot, and you're going to chain 45. 1, my yarn got caught. Okay, now you want to straighten that chain out. Mine always curl up like this. Straighten it out, and then you're going to join in the round with a slip stitch to that first chain. Okay. And you're going to chain 1 and make a half double crochet in that same chain. Okay, and then continue making 1 half double crochet in each chain all the way around. This will get easier to work with after this. after this first round. It's much easier to work into stitches, I think, than working into chains. Okay, when you get to that last chain, you're going to go ahead and join to the top of that first half double crochet with a slip stitch. Okay, so there's the first round of our bow. Chain one, and then you're going to half double crochet once in each stitch all the way around. Okay, go ahead and join to the top of that first half double crochet. All right, so we just completed 2 rounds of our bow. You're going to do the same thing for the next 6 rounds, so that will give us a total of 8 rounds. At the beginning of each round, you'll chain 1, half double crochet once into each stitch, and then join at the end. And just to give you an idea of how this will work here, this is going to end up being the width of the bow. So if you just hold it like that and lay it on your hat, that'll be the width. Now we're just making the height of the bow, and then we'll end up scrunching it up in the middle and wrapping it with some yarn for the center. So to save time and to make this video a little bit shorter if possible, I'm going to do that off camera. So again, for the next 6 rounds, which will give you a total of 8, you already have 2. Chain 1 and then half double crochet once into each stitch and join at the end of the round. Okay? When you get to the end, do not fasten off. I will meet you back up and give you instructions from there. Okay, so I just completed round 8. And what we're going to do now is we are going to use our working yarn here. We are going to cut it, but I didn't want you to cut it yet because what we need to do is make sure that we leave a very long yarn tail. I'm going to grab a needle here and weave in this yarn end so that I don't accidentally, this is the yarn end from my beginning chain. I don't want to accidentally use that or have it get in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and just weave that in. I'll snip it. And then the back side here, that's not, it doesn't matter if that doesn't look super neat because that's going to be the part that will be on the hat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and snip that. Okay. So go ahead and get your scissors and make sure that you leave a really long yarn tail. You're going to want more yarn than, it's better to have too much yarn than not enough. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, go ahead and pull that through. Hopefully it doesn't get tangled. Okay, all right. Okay, you're going to want to weave a tapestry needle onto the end of your yarn. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to weave this in and out, back and forth, down the middle of what's going to be our bow, and then we're going to pull it tight, and that's going to cinch it up down here at the bottom. So this looks to be about the middle there. So I'm going to take my tapestry needle and I'm going to weave through both pieces, through both sides. I'm going to weave this yarn back and forth all the way down. I know it's a pain working with such a long yarn tail, but we're going to need it. Okay, you can even do it like that for it to go back and forth. Make sure you're staying in the middle. Sorry. Okay, and now you're going to pull that tight, and it's going to cinch up. Be careful you don't rip it, but go ahead and pull that tight. And that is going to cinch up the middle of your bow. Okay, and you can squeeze it shut even more with your fingers. And so I have my bow between my fingers here. I just pulled this yarn really tight, worked the middle together, and now I'm just going to pass my yarn through that middle to the top here, just to help hold that together. Okay, and now we are going to use this yarn tail and we are going to wrap it around the center of the bow. And really this is just, you can do this until you're happy with how the bow looks. I think that looks pretty good. So now I still have, look, I do have a lot of extra yarn here, but that's okay. And now in the back, this is the yarn that you'll end up using to sew your bow onto the hat. So we want to go ahead and just weave this in the back so that that doesn't come unraveled. So just pass that back and forth a few times. I think I should have actually, the center should be a little further over. You see that? This side's slightly larger. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my yarn and just move the center over a tiny bit to make up for that. Okay. And that looks a lot better, and you can see when I sew that onto my hat, it's going to look super cute. You can sew it anywhere on your hat. I think it looks cute, like on the side like that on an angle. Okay, and then you just need to do your other ear flap, and you have a super cute candy corn looking hat, or excuse me, candy cane. So now I'm going to show you how you could also make the same hat, but instead of making it with a bow, you could make it with a pom-pom. So set this aside. I'm going to grab my pom-pom maker. I like really big pom-poms, so I'm using this extra large Clover pom-pom maker. I can link to it below for you. You want to unfold the pieces, and I'm going to make the pom-pom in white. So what you do is you attach the yarn to one side after you unfold it. You just need to hold this in place. It's a little awkward at first here, but it gets easier. And you're going to wrap that yarn. Actually, leave this other side folded in. Sorry, it'd be easier. You're going to wrap that yarn back and forth around. I don't make pom-poms very often, so I'm not very fast at this, but it keeps getting caught on there. Make sure you fill in those gaps. I like my pom-poms to be nice and full, so now I'm going to go back and then fill it in nice and full on the way back. Make sure all those spaces are filled in. Okay, quickly go back to the other side here. Okay, you're going to fold that in. Unfold your other side, and then you're just going to continue doing the exact same thing on the other side. These pom-pom makers are really easy to use. I mean, aside from getting caught on that part right there, but it makes it a lot easier. I think if I weren't doing this on camera too, it would be a little less awkward. Alright, so now you're going to close it, snip that yarn, cut yourself another piece of yarn. This is going to be used to tie the pom-pom and to attach it to your hat, okay? So set that aside. You can cut that beginning piece of yarn. Okay, so now in the center here, you can see it kind of dips in. You can see that in there. There's basically like, it goes down, and that's to guide your scissors. So go ahead and just cut right down the center. Make sure you keep the sides closed. Okay, and take that piece of yarn that you had, you're going to put it down the middle like that, and then on the other side you're going to pull it tight. Now don't snap it, you don't want to rip the yarn, but what you want to do is you want to make sure you tie this off as tight as you can, because that's what's going to hold all that yarn together in the middle. Now go to the other side. I usually go back and forth a few times and get it nice and tight. If I was making a hat for myself, I would probably leave it at this. If this was a hat I was selling on Etsy, I would be worried about it, the pom-pom coming apart, and typically I would just add a dab of hot glue in the middle when I'm done. I can show you in a minute. You want to be really careful you don't get any of the hot glue on the rest of the pom-pom, just in the center to sort of hold it all together. Okay, so I've pulled this nice and tight. So this is the fun part. You unfold. I don't know what these things are called, but you unfold them. And then you pull the center apart. And your fluffy pom-pom's right in the middle. So I like to fluff it up. And then you're going to want to go through and trim it. So don't cut those. Those are where you're going to attach it to your hat. But you will have some pieces that are longer than others. So you can leave it messy, or you can go through and just clean it up a bit. I've seen some beautiful looking pom-poms that look like they are the exact same length all the way around, and it's impressive. You just fluff it up, and then you would just use your tapestry needles and attach that pom to the top of your hat. And that also looks super cute. So you have the option of doing with a pom-pom or with a bow. And I think both are very cute. And if you wanted to, I have not done this before, but you could also make smaller pom-poms. You could use a smaller size clover pom-pom maker to make poms for the bottom of your braids. But for this hat, I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to trim those. Alright, so I will have the link below to the pattern on my blog. It's available for sizes 0 to 3 months through adult. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you receive notifications when I post new tutorials. Thank you.